We got the A team here today, right? Tell
B,
Neil.
the BG team.
No, tell Neil I said we had the A team.
I'll tell him.
You tell him.
I'll certainly tell him that.
Yeah, I want to keep it kind of, copacetic in-house here.
I understand.
Feeling any better about the intensity, the defensive shortcomings you've expressed?
Well, I can tell as we get closer to Friday, these guys their intensity picks up a little bit, and I think they're ready to play a game in their minds, and we need to. I mean, it's time to. You can't only practice so much. Again, as a coach, you want more reps and more reps and more reps, but we'll see. It's going to be a great test. The Sacramento State, they went into Arizona State last year, first game of the year, and won. So a lot of those kids, want to prove that they should have a Pac-12 uniform on, and I've got great respect for Coach Katz. I coached against him when I was at Northern Colorado in the Big Sky. He's a terrific coach and has done a great job at Sac State. So we've got a lot of respect for these guys, and we can't. We've got to be ready.
Where are you in terms of your team being ready?
Well, again, we'll find out. We'll find out Friday. There's still some things we have to get better at. I said it yesterday after practice, and I'll say it again. I just don't know if we can hang our hat on any one thing yet. So we got to try to make strides in every area. But so I don't know. I don't know if we're ready.
With red shirts, is that something you determine this week, or could that go into the season potentially?
Yeah, no, I mean, I spoke to Dallas Walton and Alex Strait yesterday, and they're both going to redshirt. That's the plan. So they won't. They probably won't play Friday night. Again, that's always subject to change at some point earlier in the season, not necessarily later in the season, but those two guys will. No other decisions have been made up to this point, but I'm not going to rule anything out.
With Dallas, how much of that is just him coming back from those knee injuries?
Well, part of it, his knee's fine. It's just the physicality of the game, the speed of the game, and just his kind of where he is in the rotation of things. He would play for us if he didn't redshirt. He just wouldn't. His minutes would be limited. He wouldn't play as much maybe as he would want to. And I always look at it, especially with big kids, and I look at Wesley Gordon as a great example. If Wesley hadn't redshirted, he wouldn't be here today. He'd been graduated last May, and how nice is it to have him be fifth-year senior. His body is matured. His game is matured, and now he gets a fifth year where he's going to be a starter and play a lot of minutes versus maybe as a freshman when he would have played, but he would have played, maybe 5 to 7 minutes a game. You trade that fifth year for the first year, it's a no-brainer, especially with the big guys. And Alex, we knew coming in, it's kind of the plan when we recruited him, or talked to him, I should say, that he would redshirt his first year.
With a veteran team like this, you would expect the leadership to develop, but it always doesn't happen that way. Has it with this team?
Well, it's we've been tested a couple of times, and we've got some challenges in that area. Now, met with the guys yesterday morning, and we're working on that. I'm trying to help them with that. And I do know early in the season with this team, I'm going to have to be the bad guy. I'm going to have to be the one calling guys out. I'm going to be the one kind of policing the situation, if you will. Hopefully we can get to the point where they're doing it amongst themselves, and I don't have to do that as much. So it's a work in progress.
Has XJ come along in that regard?
He has, yeah. I think XJ's done, probably of all of them, has been the most consistent, and he is the most vocal, which we need. So yeah,
but he's always been kind of
yeah,
vocal.
He's always been vocal, but the thing about XJ that he always hasn't been consistent, and always talk about, to be a leader you have to walk the walk, and then you have to talk the talk, and sometimes they get that backwards. They think they can talk the talk, but they don't have to walk the walk. Well, I think XJ's at the point in his career where he understands that, and when he doesn't do what he's supposed to do, he needs to keep his mouth probably closed And when he is doing what he's supposed to do, hey, you open it up and demand that same thing from your teammates, but be consistent about it. But I would say Xavier's done a very good job up to this point, trying to do the right things. And I think he's also realizing it's not easy. Because he's friends with a lot of these guys, and you don't always want to be the bad guy. So, but he's doing a good job. We need everybody. Wesley needs to be more vocal. Derek White needs to be more vocal. Josh Fortune needs to be more vocal. George King. I throw George in that group as well.
Last year, you opened on the road against a top 20 team. If memory serves, it was on ESPN. It was a raucous atmosphere, basically a home game for Iowa State.
Yeah.
This year, not to take anything away from Sac State, but you're a team coming into your gym that you're probably expected to defeat. Is there a challenge to maybe kind of create an intensity amongst your team
hopefully
that was created for you?
Yeah, hopefully the first game, you don't have to do that. But we talked to our players today about it's Wednesday morning, and we talked about Sac State this morning. Went through their personnel. They've got some good players. Their point guard, Graves, is a heck of a player. Stringer kids can really shoot the ball. Had, I think, 24 and 12 in their exhibition games. So they've got some good players, and they're going to have an edge about them. Again, all I've got to talk to our guys about is, look, they went into Arizona State and won last year, the first game of the year. So if that doesn't give our guys maybe some reason to perk their head up, we'll be in a big-time tussle on Friday night. And so, yeah, the challenge is to get ready for every game, whether it's Sacramento State or Arizona State. It doesn't matter. And that's the mark, hopefully, of a veteran team, of a mature team that understands that every opportunity that comes our way, you have to take advantage of.
Coach, how have you seen the freshmen develop over the last 5 or so weeks?
They're making progress. Again, I talked about Lucas is doing a great job. Bryce is coming along on the floor. Off the floor, he's got some things he's got to take care of. Deleon keeps getting better and better. He's a guy that, again, he's just always seems to be always in the right spot defensively. And Dallas, they're improving. So I'm fine with where our freshmen are.
Are you free to talk about the signees yet? Or?
I can talk about Deshaun because we got his back. The other two we're waiting on. So if everything goes as planned today, this will be, I think, our best recruiting class that we've ever had at Colorado, certainly since our staff has been here. It's not the biggest class, but I think it's the best class. I think all 3 kids will have an opportunity to be 1,000-point scorers, if not more, their time here. But Deshaun is a local kid that we're very excited about. Left-handed, 6'6", good body, can shoot it, can pass it, can dribble it. He's had a lot of great experiences with USA basketball, which is going to help him, I think, transition to the college game. And it's always nice to get who we think is the best player in the state of Colorado.
Yeah.
We think Deshaun is.
Along those lines, I think last year, I believe you said Deron Davis was the first Colorado kid you didn't get that you tried to. How important is it to get those? There's not a lot of them in the state.
No, it's extremely important. And, we certainly recruited the heck out of Deron. We wanted him. We recruited the Perkins kid who's at Gonzaga. He and Dom were coming out the same year and thought they could maybe be the backcourt of our future, like Wesley and Josh were the front court when we recruited them. But so those are the 2 that we probably would like to have had that we don't. But everybody else we've got, we've gone after. And, so we need to continue to do that on a consistent basis.